When companies come to us, they could be in several situations. Sometimes there could be trouble brewing and they want to know what an asset's worth, so they'll ask us to appraise it. Sometimes they'll ask us to inspect it. In addition, there could be a dispute where they'll bring us in as the lessor or lessee appraiser. Other times we could be recommended as the, quote, third appraiser. In other words, the one that sways the whole vote one way or the other. So there's a lot of reasons to be brought in. Some of them can be, we just found out we're getting this equipment back and we don't know what to do with it. Can you handle this thing for us? And we'll go in there and handle the remarketing of the asset for them. Other ones could be, oh my gosh, there's a regulatory audit coming up. We need somebody that knows all of these assets. We've done appraisals of portfolios exceeding $500 million in value. So there's many needs, whether they're regulatory or there could be trouble brewing. Even on the front end, when you're setting the residual, if they're not comfortable with the residual, we don't know what the residual is for this asset because they've never seen it. So we'll write up a report, we'll give them the market, the maker, trade data, and then set the residuals for them, which is a big help for them. Then they can either elect to do the transaction or not do the transaction. So it's, in addition, we have one that just started a couple of years ago. It surprised me that it wasn't done more often, and that's going into a lease. If you're presented with a piece of equipment to fund and they say it's worth $100,000, it's on an invoice, but there's been so much fraud and theft in the industry. Now lessors are smartening up and saying, let's check the validity of this value. So we'll actually call it an FMV appraisal. We do it up front based on the invoice, and we'll opine that yes, this in fact is FMV, or no, it's 20 or 30% higher, or it's 50% higher, or we couldn't find a listing for the equipment anyway, and it alerts them to this risk here, whether it's fraud or the deal just isn't right, but that's another risk management thing that's very helpful. We had one instance where a person wanted to lease a 747 for a very high value that we disagree with, because he was saying it's almost to this advanced state, and we said it wasn't. So we never gave in, and we held to our numbers. And lo and behold, the leasing company that we were representing did not do the deal. Another leasing company did do the deal, and surprise, day one default. So their asset manager was kidding with me, and he said, we have your picture posted in the entrance to the officer's dining room, and every time they go in, they have to bow to the picture. So that was that was a lot of fun and very good to know. We had other instances where we had a power company returning open-top hopper cars to a lessor, and they said, we'll give you scrap value for them. So they talked to us, we did a quick appraisal, and they said, that's the number? We go, yeah, that's the number we think we could sell them for. They go, if you could sell them for that, sell them for that. So we went out there, and the people in our rail group have been in there. They might have as many years as I'm old. I mean, these have been in for a long time. Now everybody in the industry, lo and behold, they found an end user for the open-top hopper cars in Texas, got top dollar. The client was thrilled and even paid us a bonus on the fee. My involvement with ELFA goes back to the mid-'80s when I was the founder of the equipment management panel then, committee now. I've served in that committee from that time, still serving present. I've been a past chairman, and now I'm the chair emeritus of the committee. I've done work for different areas. I've been liaison with vendors for the committee. I've also done work for other areas such as ELFA, Business Services, Inc. I've been elected to the ELFA Steering Committee to serve for service providers, provided content to the association and various technical articles. I've provided another article to the ELFA called What's Hot and What's Not in Equipment Leasing for the past 23 years. It reviews 15 industry types. I'm very active in associations that have to do with trades. We're active in 25 trade associations, whether it's steel, auto, machine tools, semiconductors, mining. We're there, or a member of the trade association. We're also active in economic associations such as the National Association of Business Economics, where I chaired their manufacturing roundtable for 2 years. give presentations at their convention. We're also active with the Federal Reserve Bank. The U.S. Fed conducts a survey of macroeconomics 2 times a year that helps in their forecasting, and I've been participating in that for the past 3 years. So we're very active with a lot of different associations, including the Federal Reserve Bank. The trends we're really seeing now have more to do with, as the regulations increase, with regulatory compliance type of reviews. So it might be a FASB audit, it could be some kind of another audit, it could be checking on the status of equipment in the field via an inspection or an appraisal. It could be even a desktop appraisal where there's a problem within the portfolio that they want us to check on, and we do it via desktop again, providing the data for the auditors to look at, not just an opinion. It's a reasoned opinion with data, and on that basis they'll confirm or make some kind of an opinion of our analysis. Alta Asset Management brings to the approach would be several things. One is knowledge, that we have one of the largest databases, to my knowledge, in the world, both national and international. To show you the depth of this, we had one study we did for a particular type of equipment. The appraiser wanted to, the client wanted to know information going back 10 years so we could spot market trends over 10 years. We did this by researching the database going back 10 years, of course, and found out that we had 12,000 trades we were able to log in a spreadsheet that had 16 columns, fully sortable, and that made the client very happy. And that, for their risk management, asset management, to put everything into perspective. Not only that, we showed them how to go on, how to continue to modify the database after we were through with it, so it can be an up-to-date, living, breathing database for them also. So that's one of the things we can bring. We also have very knowledgeable expertise that's not just by saying it is, it's being defined by credentials. We have senior appraisers in the American Society of Appraisers, international appraisers in the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. We have business valuation experts in the National Association of Business Valuation, and so on and so on. So they're all fully designated. So now you have the database marked with fully designated professional valuation, and we're also an auction company. So if it comes to auctions, I've been running auction companies since the mid-'80s. I was an auction executive for a third-party servicer back in the '80s. So we have the full expertise to make it a one-stop.